Now that we've built the functions.php file, I'm going to look at the header.php. I talked about what this file is for earlier, so you should already have an idea of what we'll be looking at. Like the functions.php in the last module, I'm going to go through each function and talk about what's actually going on. There are a lot of ways to build a site header. It can be just a simple bar across the top with some navigation, or you can have some persistent images and a Jumbotron-style element that is present on every page of the site. You can even create different header files for different pages. Let's take a look at how this might work. I had a project a couple years ago that required this big full-screen image slider with a text overlay on top of it on one part of the site, and a full-screen video in the background on another part of the site. With some research, I found the Big Video JS library to handle the video and the Supersized JS library to take care of the images. Both claim to be responsive, but after working with them a long time, and in particular the text overlay, things just weren't looking right on all mobile devices. So, I opted to go with a more basic mobile layout that jumped to the main overview page on mobile devices, rather than trying to force the two different JavaScript libraries and styles to work. I did this using a mobile detection library that's more robust than the browser checks that are built into WordPress, called Mobile Detect, and can be found at github.com/serbingita/mobiledetect. This library lets you actually target specific devices if you wanted to. But all I was really concerned about was detecting if the device was a phone. If it was, I am loading an alternate header file named headermobile.php. This check happens in the frontpage.php file, which steps in front of the index.php file if it exists to take ownership of the site front page. Frontpage.php generally differs from a blog or newsfeed homepage, which can be built into a home.php and would take ownership of the main blog page if that exists. Using the Mobile Detect library, I'm able to check if the current device viewing the site is a phone and, separately, if it's a tablet. If it's a tablet and it's not using the supersized carousel, I'm loading the mobile header. This was because the video wasn't looking good on iPads, but the slider looked fine, so we kept that. To load a specific header file, all you need to do is name it properly, by adding a separate tag or slug after a hyphen to the header, like, in this case, header-mobile.php, and then call it in your getHeader function like getHeaderMobile. WordPress will then look for a header file named header-mobile. If it doesn't find one, there's no fallback. You don't get any header at all because you specifically told getHeader that there should be a file of that path, so make sure you get your slug correct. Let's take another example. Let's say you want to have a big header image on your home page, but on your inside pages you just want a small bar at the top. If is home or is front page, getHeader home, else getHeader. Again, you just need to put this in your index.php, frontpage.php, or home.php. Now all you need is a file named header home and header.php. If it's the home page header will be loaded. Otherwise, the regular header will load. For the theme I'll be showing you, there's just one header, but it's pretty easy to add an unlimited number of custom headers simply by creating the file and using that name in the getHeader call. Let's get started by looking at the code inside the HTML head tag.